The first thing that popped into my head was how we used to have like hot dogs, like the big foot-long hot dogs.
You mean in school?
Yeah, school lunches. How we used to have like the big foot-long hot dogs and then the chocolate malt cups in the elementary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it went away. And now when we finally do get hot dogs back, they're like tiny, like puny and nasty.
They're boiled.
Yeah,
and they're
boiled.
like held in the cold water for hours and hours.
Yeah, and we don't get any chocolate malt either. That's important.
That's important. That's probably the most important part. The chocolate malts were pretty good. We would in like 4th or 5th grade we would eat outside at the end of the year. I remember that. Like in May or June we would spend a few days where we would eat outside. That was like the best part of the year.
Same. Yeah, we never did that.
You never did that?
No.
I'm thinking of any school lunches that are better than, like, or they're as good as the hot dogs.
You know what I really love? I love going to the lunch line, getting a piece of pizza, and having to grab some napkins to wipe the grease off of it.
You gotta blot it off.
Yeah, so one thing I don't understand is how we went from this point in time where we're like, oh yeah, we need to get rid of these foot-long hot dogs and these malt cups to keep down, like, obesity, but the pieces of pizza that we get at our school, like, literally people get, like, pieces of paper and, like, napkins, like squish them down into the pizza to, like, get the grease out of it. It's, like, greasier than Angelo's pizza, if anybody here knows what I'm talking about.
That's pretty bad. I just stay away from the pizza. Like, people always complain about it. They're like, oh, this pizza's nasty, but they keep getting it.
Yeah, because it's pretty damn good.
You take the bullet and buy or bring your own lunch to school.
That is true.
Make a sandwich or like a Lunchable or something like that. Those are much better.
Lunchables are fantastic. We need some of those at our school. Do you know how many times I've went to the lunch line and the lady has, like, looked at me funny and said, you can't get your lunch, you need to go back and grab a fruit or a veggie? And I'm just like, what? I'm not gonna, like, for all the people you've told that to and they're not gonna eat it and they're just gonna throw it out. It seems like such a waste.
So when did that started with Michelle Obama, right?
Yup, I'm aware.
I don't really remember a time before that, because it was when I was in 4th or 5th grade they started doing that, where you were required to take a fruit or a vegetable. But I think in junior high I realized that when they forced people to take fruits and vegetables, most people just throw them away anyway. So
yeah,
there's really no point. I think that's pretty like a futile attempt to make school lunches more healthful for people. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I mean, me personally, I eat it like most of the time. Maybe there's like a time where it's like, oh, that apple looks pretty nasty, or has like some like brown spot on it, like,
or like a worm.
Yeah, like a worm, or Luke breaks it on the table.
That's happened before. I remember a couple years ago there was like actually some sort of insect in someone's food.
I think that was your food, actually.
It might have been my food. It was pretty bad. I refused to eat school lunch for like several days or weeks
Wasn't it like
after
a bug in your rice?
Yeah, it might have been in my rice. I don't know what it was, but it kind of disturbed me a little bit.
Let's just say it was something that was not supposed to be in the school food.
Or in any food.
That is true. There have been studies showing, like, when you are, like, told to do something, you want to do it less. Like, when you're, like, forced to grab food, like, it makes you, like, not want to eat it because authority told you to.
Yeah.
It's like telling a bunch of teenagers to go eat your damn veggies when their parents told them that when they were younger doesn't help the situation whatsoever. Yeah. And they're probably just going to throw it out. And they'd be more likely to eat the fruit and veggie if they sat down and said, oh, I forgot it. I'm going to walk back and go grab it so I can actually eat it.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help that most of the fruits and vegetables that the school serves are terrible.
That is also true. Give myself some warm carrots.
No, the carrots are fine. I eat the carrots every day. But, like, the broccoli, oh man, that's gross.
Most of the time it's really nasty.
Broccoli's
the only time that it's good, though, is when it has cheese in it. The cheesy broccoli.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Most of the time, it's, like, disgusting, though, and, like, falling apart. And, like,
it's all brown.
Yeah. It's, like, brown and nasty.
What other kind of fruits and vegetables do they have? The strawberries? Those are gross.
They look really disgusting.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they're like frozen.
I don't know. Some people like them.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've had them before. They're all right. But sometimes I've had them and it's just like a block. And I can't eat it. I'm like, wow, I only have 30 minutes to eat my food. This isn't going to thaw in the next hour.
You know what else is a block? the lasagna.
That is true. The masa
It's
chole.
so nasty.
It is disgusting.
It's not frozen block, but just like it's like dry. It's like a brick.
No, it's like not even dry though. It's like it's moist, but it's like it's firm.
It's like cemented together.
Yeah,
It's so gross.
And yeah, it's cemented together by like overcooked and like cold cheese. And it's like it kind of just like holds it together, and it keeps it consistent, and it makes it look kind of good sometimes, but it's not worth getting whatsoever.
No.
And it's not good for you.
Are there any foods we do like at the school?
One food that I do like that they just introduced was the chicken quesadilla. Like they write quesadilla up there, like cheese quesadilla,
Mm-hmm.
but I've gotten it and I've been into it and I find chicken and I'm like, all right, this is pretty good.
The quesadilla is all right.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit more
Filling.
I don't know. Yeah, filling, or like the crust is really like dry and
That is true.
it's not great.
I'm not gonna. I don't know. The biggest thing that I've noticed is just how much the school lunches have been like portioned down from like when we were younger.
Yeah.
From when we were younger, there would be like good pizza with like pepperoni and sausage on it, but now we get like cheese pizza covered in like grease.
No, the pizza slices, you get exactly 3 pepperoni
yes,
pieces
exactly
of pepperoni
3 pieces
per
of
slice.
pepperoni. Yep.
And the chicken,
Sometimes less.
yeah, the chicken nuggets. If they accidentally give you one too many, they'll take one away.
Yeah.
That's really sad. That always makes me really sad when they take one away.
Or they don't give you enough and they don't care. That's happened.
Yeah, sometimes.
And chicken nuggets are like McDonald's chicken nuggets. So that can...
I don't know which is worse. They're pretty bad. Both of them are pretty bad.
McDonald's chicken nuggets are a lot better than school ones. They have to be.
Yeah, the school ones are really soggy most of the time.
Or they're like rock solid and or super dry. It's like there's no happy medium. They're always disgusting though. I can say that much.
No, I always get the corn dog. Those are good. Those are probably really bad for you.
Oh, absolutely terrible.
I definitely love the corn dog. Get that every time they have it. It's like once a week. Probably like 900 calories.
Most of the foods that are actually good, they serve the least.
Yeah.
Like corn dogs, they don't even serve it like once a week. Like it's like once every like 2 weeks.
It's more than that.
I've like looked at the school schedule and I'm actually gonna pull it up because they cycle out. So they have like the standard menu that they follow, and then they have like an extra section of the menu where they change like every other week what's on the menu.
Yeah.
So for like these dates, they'll have these things on the menu and they'll like cycle it out. So we get like new things, but the stuff that they cycle out is always the good stuff that I want. So it's kind of like, oh, thanks, I don't want. Or when they'll have like chicken patty and that hot and spicy chicken patty. So it's like, alright, so chicken patty or this other crap. It's like,
what do you mean this other crap? You mean hot and spicy chicken patty?
No, I mean like I'm classifying those two together.
Oh,
like,
okay,
you're gonna get a chicken
okay.
patty, or you're gonna get like chicken nuggets.
Can I voice my opinion on chicken patties?
Yeah.
The hot and spicy chicken patty that's got pepper on it. Like I think that's the only difference is it's got pepper.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad.
They have had improvements though with the chicken patties. They used to be like molded like blocks. But now, you can tell when you bite into it, they're like steamy and good. And they're like actual chicken breasts. Like you can tell by like looking at the fibers.
Yeah.
Like in the recent weeks, it's been much better than it has been in recent years.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago they ran out of hot and spicy chicken patties and there was like a riot. I mean, it wasn't quite a riot, but it was, everyone got really mad. They had to go over to the regular chicken patty line and get the bland, tasteless chicken patty. The other thing, so our school has 4 different lines you can choose from. Choose 4 different entrees, and there's one line that's always very mediocre. That's the, what do they call it? The first one on the left.
First one on the left is the sizzling special.
The sizzling special, yeah. So, what do they serve there? They serve regular chicken patty there. They serve
cheeseburger with half a slice
with
of cheese.
half a slice of American cheese. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Barbecue hamburger.
No, barbecue.
No, I'm reading it right now.
You're reading
and for January of 2018, for the Monday section of the sizzling specials, we have barbecue hamburger. And for Tuesday, we have barbecue rib on a bun, which you always find a bone or a piece of cartilage in when you eat.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's cartilage. It's so gross. No, the barbecue rib on a bun, that's probably the nastiest thing ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Or one of the
disgusting. I also happen to realize that we have cheeseburger on Wednesdays and Fridays. So that's
so what are they serving on Fridays then? Because usually, what do they serve on Friday? They serve pizza, which is gross. They serve quesadilla, which is usually gross. No, fiestada.
Fiestada.
That's like the weird.
It's like
it's pizza, but
it's supposed to be Mexican pizza, basically.
It's not at all.
It's basically just like a circle pizza, and it's kind of like a little bit overcooked.
And it's,
like,
a little bit. It's like burnt all over.
Yeah, it's quite a bit overcooked with no sauce, and the only thing that's good about it is the fact that it has real meat on it.
Real?
No, like little sauce. That is, yes, real.
You mean processed and
as
fake?
Real as it's gonna get.
As real as the school can afford?
Yes.
Oh, alright, so speaking of affording, I wanted to mention the TVs that the school has in the lunchroom. So our school has, in the lunch lines, there's, how many are there? 4 or 5
4
televisions that they got
5 televisions for one outside the lunchroom, I believe.
A couple years ago. And so the first 1 year or 2 years that they didn't even turn on.
That is true. They didn't have them running for 2 years.
2 years. So 2 years they had these televisions that they didn't turn on for a whole 2 years. And then after that they finally turned them on 3rd year. And so they're filled with nutritional information, which is absolutely useless, because I don't know how anyone would care. And second of all, they have facts, which are the most useless things ever. These facts are
consisting of random things, like
they're so bad.
Oh, where did this food originate from in the world?
Yeah, it's like I don't even know what it said. It's like rice originated in China in 10,000 BC.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's all it's. Oh, and then it's a couple of months ago. Thanksgiving was first celebrated in 16 whatever. I have no idea why they put these facts on there. They're the most useless thing. I guarantee you every TV cost more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Or around there. And,
pretty close. They're nice TVs. They went up, got them mounted, but now they're just having them sit up there with useless nutrition facts that nobody's going to pay attention to, and facts of just random stuff. Yeah. I know what you're talking about with Thanksgiving. They had one talking about like fruits and berries. And I'm like, oh, what did they serve at Thanksgiving? Oh, they didn't really have turkey. They just had fruits and berries. That's all they could afford. And I'm like, what?
Wasn't the fact for Memorial Day on there for like 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, some of the facts stay up there for like a couple weeks.
No. There was one, I think it was Memorial Day, and they put it up in May, and it lasted through like October. So I swear
that is very much possible, because I think I've seen that one.
It was the funniest thing ever.
I don't understand how they can so they decide to reportion all the meals and try to cut down on how much food we all get, but I'm skinny with a high metabolism and I'll eat a bunch of food, And when I was little, I would get doubles. But
So
now
you get triples?
I have gotten triples, in fact. And I get done eating triples, and I'm like, oh, that was actually a filling meal. I wonder how much it would, like, take for me to get a filling meal from, you know, like 1 or 2 portions.
Yeah, or how much so the school lunch costs what, $2 even?
Yeah, something like that.
For if you pay full price. Doubles, what do doubles cost?
I think it's like $1.50 more.
Yeah. So say $3.50 for doubles, and then what do triples cost? Like
I think
$6
another $1.50 more.
or
So
$5.
Yeah, so $5 for lunch. I might as well just go out to eat. Like, it might as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna cost the same to get a filling meal. It's gonna be higher quality somewhere else.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, especially when you have last lunch, because our school does we split the lunches. We have how many lunches are there now? Our school has 1,700 students total, and there's like 5 lunches
5 lunches
total.
I think, yeah.
Five or 6 lunches.
Yeah, 3 that we can have, and then
Yeah, they split
lower
them
grades.
into the high school, the junior high. So there's like 5 or 6 lunches throughout the day. The first one's at like 10:30 for the 6th graders. So it's like breakfast. And then all the way to last lunch at 1:30? No, 1 o'clock for last lunch, right, Levi?
Yes.
So
Yep.
once you get to last lunch, if you're unfortunate enough to have that, then you can't even get doubles because they've run out of food by then.
Yeah, and you're already, like, if you don't eat breakfast, like a lot of people, then you're just, like, starving for, like, 4th and 5th period.
I haven't eaten breakfast on a school day for a really long time.
Yeah,
I
never do.
I eat breakfast on the weekends, but
Yeah, same.
during a school day, or on a school day, I haven't eaten breakfast since like the 8th grade or 9th grade or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I am unfortunate enough to have lunch at 1 o'clock, then I'm definitely hungry all day. And then, so I eat lunch and then 1 more hour of school, then go home, and then eat a whole bunch at home because I'm so hungry still.
You know, it kind of sucks though, because, like, if you do get stuck having last lunch and you decide to get, like, a lot of food, like doubles or triples to actually, like, fill you up, then you don't want to eat until, like, later, because then it's like you just ate at like 1:30,
Yeah.
and there's like normally you'd eat around like 11:30, and you're eating so much later than normal, and it kind of just throws off your schedule for the rest of like the school year. It's kind of a shaft.
What was I gonna say? Oh, we wanted to discuss how long lunches should be. It seems like the past year or two, it's been long enough. But for some reason, it seemed like in 8th or 9th grade, the lunch periods were way too short. Like I wouldn't finish eating in time.
Yeah, I just
I don't
think
know.
that was kind of because we're like attention spans. But I mean,
Maybe. I don't know.
it's the
I would
only
prefer
possible thing I can think of, because I'm pretty sure it was half hour for all the years.
No, yeah, the lunch period didn't change. But I would prefer a longer lunch period, just for the purpose of relaxation.
Yeah, being able to talk with friends and such.
Yeah, because right now we have it's a half-hour lunch period, but you spend 5 or so minutes, 5 or maybe 10 minutes waiting in line. So you don't really only have 20 or 25 minutes to eat. And then if you want to socialize during that time, that's even less. It kind of irks me.
Yeah, talk as you eat adds on, like, you get not nearly the amount of time. You have like 5 minutes left at the end of lunch, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Because at work, I get an hour lunch break for like an 8-hour day or whatever. But I don't know what you get.
I get half an hour for. So I think
for how long of a shift though?
If I work 6 hours, I get a 10-minute paid break. But if I work 8 hours, I get half hour unpaid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So
sucks.
I get for like a 8-hour day, I get a half hour paid and a half hour unpaid. But I just take those together to get a whole hour break, so nice. I can leave and get get fast food or whatever. Which is really nice, because that's like a rest in the middle of a work day, but...
Yeah. When I worked at Mendakota, we got paid lunches, and that was the best thing ever. And then we got, I want to say half an hour to eat, but most people just stayed in the break room to watch Maury. So.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of brings us back. Breaks during the school day. So like in elementary school, we had snack time or whatever, Like
yeah, when we were in elementary school, I feel like they were definitely trying to there was a lot of rearranging going on with how things operated. So when we were young, so it was nap time in kindergarten, and then as we moved up the grade levels, at Lincoln at least, we had this thing where we would do lunch first, and then we'd go out and play recess, which didn't end up working good, and then they did recess and then come inside, and they would change it up every other year, because I feel like they just didn't know what was best, and they were trying to experiment with things, because I think there were several instances where kids would get sick because they just ate a crap ton of food, and then you go out and play and on swings and stuff, and they'd throw up.
Yeah. I think for the time where I was at the one elementary at Kaposia, so I was there for 3 years, and we had recess first and then lunch afterward. That seemed to work pretty well.
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing by the end of it.
But we also had breaks, 1 or 2 breaks during the school day apart from lunch, which I enjoyed, and I think they should institute that in high schools.
I could definitely see that.
Not necessarily nap time, but
yeah.
But just maybe 10 or 15 minutes of just free time where you can just not do anything.
I think one thing to kind of go off of that is, one thing that's definitely a step in the right direction is hybrid classes, because it is kind of that break in the middle of your school day where you're able to sometimes, if you need to get work done, you can go work alone and get your stuff done, but if you actually need to rest or hang out with your friends, you have that option too. So you're able to manage your own time and what you want to do. You can go out and get food if you want. You can stay in school and get stuff done for tomorrow's homework, or figure out what you need done the most, and being able to get things done and use your time appropriately instead of having it to sit in a classroom and listen to somebody talk for 45 minutes and not get much out of what's happening.
I'm just going to clarify, talking about hybrid classes. So our school does a program for the 11th and 12th graders, I believe, where for some of if you take an honors class, there's 1 or 2 days a week where you're not required to come to class if you have a C or higher. So you still have work to do outside of class, but you don't have to come into the classroom. So yeah, I agree. That's a great break to have during the school day. Where you can, I don't think you're actually supposed to leave campus. You're not supposed to leave the school.
Yeah.
But everyone does anyway. I think that they give you the hybrid passes for it's for in the morning. If you're not at school yet, then you can say, okay, you're not late. I don't think they want you to leave.
Well, I mean, we do have hybrid 6th hour, and I think they do expect us to leave early. So it's...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
like deep down, some of the teachers and administration don't like the idea that we get to leave and do what we want, but a lot of them were well, yeah, these kids are 17 and 18 doing IB classes, which is honors classes, and they're able to do what they want with their time. They're able to get their work done. They can go eat lunch. They can come to school late and leave early if they need to.
Right. Well, I think a lot of, because you said that if you went to class anyway, you would just be listening to a teacher lecture, which is not my favorite thing. It helps sometimes, I guess, for lecturing, but most of the time, yeah, if they're not just rambling on about things of no consequence, like some teachers. So, busy work. A lot of teachers assign busy work, and in any subject is not like a great thing. But so I guess, a hybrid class kind of allows you to get away from that.
Yeah.
A little bit.
One thing to go along with like the concept of busy work is some teachers just give you like the workload just for the simple fact that they think they don't take into consideration, or maybe they do and they don't care, that you have like other honors classes to do, and that you're going to get a lot of homework in those classes as well. And some of the biggest thing though is like you can do like busy work in math, and you do the math problems. Like if you know how to do the problem, you know how to do the problem. And I understand the logic that if you do it more times, you'll get it like drilled into your head. But when it's like reading about some random person in history, or doing some assignment just for the sake of it, that's not necessarily to do with the curriculum, or is such a stretch out there, it doesn't really connect to what you're doing or establish like a basis for what you're going to be learning next. It's just kind of nerve-wracking to see that it's taken so seriously by the teacher and that it's going in as a point value, even though it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Like we can talk about this in a later episode in much more detail, because I have a lot of strong opinions about this, about work that pertains to the curriculum and work that does not. But yeah, I definitely think busy work, like, in math it's interesting because busy work isn't seen as like a con to the class for some reason, but a lot of other classes, it depends on the teacher, of course, but a lot of them assign work that really helps you understand the content, and a lot of them don't. But we'll talk about this some other time.
Yeah, but one thing I find interesting though at lunch is recently we got these disposable containers that like separate the lunch food, and we have like a guy that stands there, make sure that the food gets distributed correctly. And
yeah, you mean into like we have there's one for trash,
organics, trash, and the one for recycling, and then also like the milk.
Yeah, liquids.
So it's odd to think about, like, we already have the disposable containers, and I've heard people say in the past, like, oh yeah, those go get thrown into the same pile in the end of it, or they need to be sorted through at the end of the day anyway by somebody else. So what's the point of doing it now? And why would we need somebody to do it, like pay somebody to stand there and make sure it gets divided up? Is it actually worth it? Like getting expensive TVs to display
meaningless information?
Yeah, useless.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think it was a good idea to separate things into compost and recycles, but the execution is not the greatest, and especially that they're trying so hard to do something that they have to pay someone to kind of stand there and yell at you if you put a banana in the recycles or something.
Yeah, and I 100% agree, and I'm not trying to hate on my guy. I say thank you to him all the time and stuff, and I really appreciate it. Like, it's kind of a sucky job to be standing there and just dividing up trash and telling kids what to do. And I definitely feel for him because the disrespect he probably gets and the literal trash that he has to deal with.
I feel bad for the lunch ladies. People are so mean to them. The people who serve the food, and then the people who are cleaning the lunchroom or whatever, and then the people who wash the dishes. I feel really bad for a lot of them. I try to be as nice as I can, say thank you when they serve me my food and stuff like that. But
some of them are really jolly, and when really I see jolly, that, it lightens the mood a little bit and gives you a little bit better of a day to know that somebody in their position is having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just and I agree with them dividing up the stuff, the trash and organics and plastics, into different areas. But it's to what extent is it really needed? I'm fully for dividing it up and having somebody supervise, but does the person actually need to be there? Because in the end of the day, where is it all going to end up, and what's going to need to happen to it for it to be recycled properly anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, the in all the classrooms they have a trash can and a recycling bin.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was talking to a teacher after school one day, maybe like 20 minutes after class had ended, so there was no one there. And so I was talking to this teacher, and a janitor or whatever came into her room, and he was going to empty the trash and the recycles, and he poured them in the same bin. And I just watched him do that. I watched him pour the recycling and the trash into the same bin, and all I could think of is like, what have I been told? This for 5 years they're like, recycle the paper.
But when you think about it though, like on the recycling bin, it has a picture of like paper, a plastic bottle, a glass bottle, and like a bunch of other things.
Well, things that you can
what
recycle.
What you produce out of a classroom, that's like not that stuff. You got like paper, a plastic pen you'd put in there.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why he just like dumps it together. Like, I don't know what you could really put in the trash that would come out of a classroom environment that wouldn't go in the recycling bin.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, so your argument is that they should just have a recycling bin and no trash can,
or just have a trash can and have them like, it's gonna be like almost all recycling. It's gonna be like even if you could probably put organics in that. I'm pretty sure there's a picture of like an apple on it too, so you could put like fruits in there.
You can't put apples in the recycling. What are you talking about?
Alright, so we need a trash can and a recycling bin. We have this clarified.
Yeah.
Both of them are needed, but they get put in the same bin at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter.
It confuses me that they have separate containers when they pour them into the same one at the end of the school day.
It's just kind of to like make
you feel like you're making a difference? Yeah. Is that what it's for?
Yeah, to make you feel better.
Make you feel bad. I'm recycling. I'm saving the planet.
Yeah.
And you're really not.
It's keep the morale up.
The morale. Yeah.
It's a war.